everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Rosa, and on this channel we make plant-based food for you and your family to enjoy. So today I decided to make some recipes for those who are just starting off on a plant-based diet, because I know it's kind of hard to figure out what to make and what you can stick to the plan with. So I'm going to make 3 recipes, okay, for you guys that I really enjoy, and I enjoyed these when I first started off as well. So our first recipe is going to be a berry mango twist smoothie bowl, so yummy and delicious. And our second recipe is going to be a savory fajita mushroom based kind of a taco, okay? And the third recipe is going to be our delicious crunchy crab cakes, and we're going to use that with some panko breadcrumbs and some hearts and palms. So let me show you what I did to get that recipe together. All right, come on. For this one, you'll need 1 cup of blueberries. Frozen blueberries, I like to get them from Costco because you get more for your money. 1 cup of frozen mango, again from Costco. 10 frozen cherries, so about a half a cup of frozen cherries. A half a cup of almond milk. A teaspoon of maca powder, and about a teaspoon of local honey. So the original recipe calls for a little bit of acai powder and also some lean mill vanilla protein powder, but I'm not going to add that today because you can eat it with or without the lean mill protein powder and give it a little creamier texture. So, but this is just as delicious by itself. So let's get it blended up. Our next recipe we're going to make is our easy vegan fajitas. So for this fajita recipe, I'm using portobello mushrooms. I like that type of mushroom because it's thicker and meatier. So you can use any mushroom you like, but I like the texture of this one. So let me show you how I made that real fast. So let's start off by making our fajita seasoning, okay? So what you'll need is 1 teaspoon each of ancho chili powder, smoked paprika, cumin, onion powder, and garlic powder. And get that all stirred up. There you go. Set that aside. So I just grabbed 4 large portobello mushrooms, about the size of your hand. So what we're going to do with each mushroom is we're going to pop the stem out and then remove all the gill. So let me grab that little plate so we can put the gills on that. So you scrape that out. That way it doesn't get all this dark mushroom. And even though this is delicious umami, we want to take that out so it looks cleaner, more like a chicken, you know, or more like meat. So let's get all that scraped out for each one of them. And you can save this inside, these gills, pop them inside of a freezer bag, a small freezer bag, and put them inside the freezer. And anytime that you're making like a soup, you could use that for soup to give you more umami, and you use a little stems for a soup as well. So you can put all that inside of a freezer bag in the freezers. So after you remove the gill and the stem, just slice it up into about thick pieces about like that size. So it can be nice and meaty. So next what you're going to need is a half of a red bell pepper, generally I like to use a half of a green bell pepper as well, just like regular fajitas, but I found these peppers and they're a little bit spicy at the store, so I figured I'll just use maybe 1 of these because I don't know how hot it is. And then we're going to use a half of the onion, okay? So let's get this all chopped up. So with peppers, especially spicy peppers, in order for you to have a little bit milder taste, you can remove the seeds and the inside. But if you want it to be more caliente, hotter, you can leave it all in. You can be brave. Today, me is not being brave. We're gonna take this out. And you can wear gloves as well because, you know, you don't want to be touching your eyes or any part of your body, okay? For that matter, with the spicy heat on your fingers. So I should have got my smaller knife, and I do have a smaller knife, but hey, we're just gonna roll with it. And I'm gonna try to cut it small strips like that so that we don't have big chunks in there. For sure, get yourself a green bell pepper, because that's the you know, I don't know about traditional, but that's the type that normally in the States, that's what we usually use, a green bell pepper. You know, so I'm just using what I can find real fast. All right, so heat your pan on medium to high heat and add about a tablespoon of oil to it. This pan is a non-stick pan, so that helps. If you don't have a non-stick pan, then or a cast iron, just add like about 2 tablespoons of oil. And I use grapeseed oil. And let that heat up for a minute. After your pan heat up, add your mushrooms. Now, before we add any seasoning to the mushroom, you want it to get a little bit cooked through and brown. Don't add salt to your mushrooms right away. You can add the fajita seasoning because the salt will draw out the moisture and your mushrooms will get as brown as you like. So let's get that all organized in there. Keep your bowl on standby because you're gonna put it right back in the bowl once they get nice and brown. So we're gonna add, I say about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of the fajita seasoning. And then you can adjust as you go along, so. Okay, so now our mushrooms are nice and brown. What we're gonna do is take them out and then let's get the vegetables nice and heated up, okay guys? And then we're gonna use the same pan and just throw a little more oil in there. I don't think we need any more of the spice mixture, just a little salt because I put a teaspoon out, depending on how much spice you like. But I put a teaspoon in there and it felt like it's plenty because I was over here choking. So definitely just try a teaspoon first and then taste it, all right? You don't want to be burning your mouth. All right, so let's get our veggies in here. Add a tiny bit more oil. Just a little bit. And all our red veggies. And you don't want to overcook the veggies either. And then we're going to add our mushrooms back to the pan. Get that all stirred up together. So at this point, you can add a little salt to taste, okay guys? Start off with like maybe a half or a quarter of a teaspoon, but just do it to taste. You don't want it to make too much salt in it, too salty. But then let that cook through a little bit. In the meantime, while that's cooking a little bit more, go ahead and heat up some tortillas. So I got the pan over here ready and warm me up some tortillas, and then we'll get plating. So our last easy vegan recipe is our crunchy crab cake. All right, so this one is really tasty. We use hearts of palm to make that texture kind of like crab. So let me show you how we're gonna make this one. So you'll need 2 14-ounce cans of hearts of palm. It's in Spanish, so yeah, because you know, you guys know where I'm at. So make sure you drain the liquid off and then we'll shred it up. So for this one, what I like to do is kind of like shred it up some. You can do it all, chop it up the way you like, but I want to make it kind of like that fish texture. So kind of like just rough chop it. But I think that if you do it like on an angle like this, see, you get more of a flaky fish feel. So to the bowl, we're going to add a teaspoon of lemon zest. Squeeze about a tablespoon of lemon juice. 1/4 cup of chopped onions, finely chopped. And 1/4 cup of chopped red bell peppers. 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs. A tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning. What I'm using here is that fish seasoning that I made when I made the fish taco. So grab that recipe over there if you want to make your own. You're going to add 1/2 cup of vegan mayonnaise and a tablespoon of mustard. Get that stirred up. We're also going to add a little bit of parsley flakes. I want to add some parsley flakes to give it some color, because you can also use, instead of just an onion, 2 scallions. So since we don't have the scallion pieces in there, let's give it a little bit of color and a little flavor. Before you fry it, guys, make sure you check it for taste to see if it needs any salt or pepper. I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper to it, and maybe a tiny pinch of salt. All right, and let's go over to our breading station. So now we're just gonna make a quick breading station with our bowl of crab meat, and then we're gonna put some panko breadcrumbs in a separate bowl and then a plate. So we'll just get the breadcrumbs all around that crab meat. So what I'm using though is a 1/2 cup measure so that we can get even measurements on each crab. Because you want to make it a nice big crab patty. So let's see. Yeah, about 1/2 cup. So I'm not sure how many we can get out of it, because sometimes I make them smaller. There you go. Get all that flaky meat. Yeah, I think a 1/2 cup is good. That'll be a good portion for everybody. All right, so let's do that. Shape it to like you would do, see, any other patty, and then put it. Now, normally I would use one hand free, but that's impossible. So just put the crab cake in a hot oil. You can use whatever type of oil you like. Okay, right now, this is just coconut oil because that's what I have on hand. You could use, I like to use grapeseed oil. Use any type of neutral oil so that you don't get that taste from the oil. We're gonna see if we can get them all in the pan. Since it's a fairly big pan, let's see if we get them all in. There you go. So we're gonna let them fry until they're nice and golden brown. So with that being said, we're all done here today. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you'll hear notifications when I upload a new video. Okay, guys? So I'll see you next time on our next video. Bye.